Stand to MechWarriors and welcome to a brand new season of RogueTech. That's right, last time, Starburst Sardakar's campaign came to an end at day 1200 as we finally concluded that stage of her adventures. And now we move into a new adventure, a full 2 versions of RogueTech. By versions, I mean 2 major change versions ahead of where we used to be. Many new mechs have been added, many new features to the game have been included, and it's an entirely new experience, and just even in my test battles, things were so completely different that it took me a little while to finally just get my eye in, but I feel like it's time to get things started. So it's time to create a new character, and I have some thoughts in mind. We will be going this time from the Capellan Confederation. So, the Capellan Confederation is one of the 5 successor states of the Star League, located rimward of Terra. Ruled by House Liao, the Confederation is the smallest and newest of the successor states, and is often the loser in conflicts against the other powers of the Inner Sphere. It is an authoritarian police state, with philosophical origins in a text known as the Corvin Doctrine, which argues for total subservience of the individual to the state. Citizens of the Confederation must earn their position and the benefits of citizenship through service to the community. The current ruler of the Confederation is Chancellor Maximilian Liao, a shrewd planner and master manipulator. These guys generally feature as the bad guys in quite a few novels, but because it is such an evil police state, and we're not necessarily, well, it's not evil, but any more than any of the others are, but because it's the stereotypically evil one, and we're not necessarily an evil character, our family was betrayed. The day after your 16th birthday, your family was betrayed and murdered. And because we, of course, came from a background of such stringent service and respect towards authority and the state, we're going to be playing as a former Origan Coalition soldier. So, out on your own, you fell into the life of an Origan Coalition soldier. Now, this happily gives us Gunnery 4, but that was only a side effect of ended up picking what I thought would be a pretty interesting backstory for it. But that should help out a little bit. Time to edit the name and appearance, and I had something just a little bit in mind, not you, because of who we played last time. I wanted something a little bit more stereotypically menacing, and so we're going to go ahead with this one. Doesn't he look aggressive, angry, and tired, but experienced? And because of that, we're going to switch on over to picking up the voice for Matthew. That little bit of an accent to make him sound just a little bit extra cool. And our name shall be Harris? No, thank you. Tony? I couldn't even pronounce that. I could after a little bit of practice. Levente. Rashawn. Rashawn, that works. Rashawn Akaloy. Rashawn Molina. Rashawn Schwartz. Rashawn Thornton. Give me something a little bit better. No, not that. I need something that'll sort of match the voice. Oliveira? Nah. Rashawn Jefferson. Rashawn Pham. Rashawn Riley. Morales. Oh, there we go. Nikolovsky, Rashawn Nikolovsky, and his call sign shall be Ripper. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, Ripper, Rashawn Ripper Nikolovsky, with his slightly accented voice and his intimidating appearance. Oh, I'm on board with this one. I'm feeling good about this one, so let's lock and load and launch on the start of a brand new campaign. RogueTech. War is business, and business is hell. Welcome to the Inner Sphere, Commander. You are a mercenary, standing on the bridge of your very own Argo, a mobile space station looking forward to a life of conflict among the warring factions of humanity. Will you prosper, or will you only be remembered as yet another thug who couldn't cut it? Alrighty, welcome back to the Argo, Rippers Marauders. It sounds kind of appropriate, but let's come up with something just a little bit better. I tend to prefer alliteration, but if you've got ideas for something we should come up with, let me know. If not, I'll come up with something that I think works out. Starburst Sardaukar ended up being a pretty fantastic name, and also served as the basis for the naming of one of our better mechs, the Aramjam. Currently operating in the colors of yellows, with a bit of a spike going on here. Not terrible, actually. Yellow and spikes. Yeah, that could work. We are in the orbit of Galatia as normal, and let's check out the barracks for our brand new company of MechWarriors, and we have, of course, ourselves Ripper. Ripper, of course, is going to be gunnery piloting, because that's the way we roll. We'll also give ourselves a point of guts in this one, make us a little bit more resistant to taking injuries on melee, and give us an additional point of health. We don't need it since we technically can't die, but that'll work out for us. 5442, lock him down. We're at the very bottom of the list. And we've got Brother. Brother, my brother, Bullet Trap, Exodus, Hacker, Hammer, Majestic, spelled with numbers, and Omega. Omega, you seem familiar. Oh yeah, for my test game. Omega is definitely going to get a gunnery skill as well, and we're also going to make him a piloting expert also. Lock him in there a little bit. So we've got two 5-4 pilots, gunner pilots. Hacker and Majestic, you both got names that make me think of, well, computers. So you both are becoming tactics commanders. Give you a point of gunnery just to make sure that you've got a little bit of accuracy to go along with that. And where's Majestic? Majestic, get you your tactics as well. Gunnery or piloting? It's got to be gunnery. We know just how bad it can be with trying to actually hit a target in RogueTech, so we need gunnery. Hammer, well, obviously Hammer is our guts commander, so give him a little bit of guts and some piloting to go with it so that he's a little bit more nimble, able to get in somebody's face and punch them down badly. Exodus. Exodus is a fast and nimble name. He's leaving the area, and he's going for gunnery and piloting as well. Lock him in. Bullet Trap, kind of a shame. Well, I could use another gunnery. Sure, why not? Bullet Trap, you've got a name like that, you've got to have guns. And you got to have guts for that one, too. So he's a little bit of a different gunnery person than the other people we've picked up. And Brother. Well, Brother, I'm not even going to bother trying to do a Hulk Hogan impression. What could Brother do? Well, Hulk Hogan, obviously. So let's go gunnery, or guts and piloting with him as well. Alrighty, and that will lock us into our initial levels on people. We've got two tactics people. We've only got one gut. Oh, no, we do have two guts people as well. And we have multiple gunners, and I think only one ace pilot. But so those are our first 8 mech warriors. We're going to come over here into engineering, and yes, I'm deliberately avoiding the mech bay just for a little bit. And we're going to pick up power systems, and the reason why is because, just like previous versions, it is so important to get Mech Bay 2 going, and for that you need repaired conduit. So we're going to repair the conduits, pick up the Mech Bay 2, and then we're going to grab whichever automation setting. Yep, we're going to grab automation to enable the second repair bay to work at 100%, and you can run basically an entire campaign sitting on that, and we'll try and upgrade even further, but that's the mech path for there. Alright, into the bay itself, let's find out what it is we are dealing with. And we have a hatchet man. Oh, that's lovely. What an excellent way of beginning. Oh, we're using the Flashpoint DLC, and we even picked up a hatchet man. We've also got a Valiant, which I've never heard of, but holy crap, you're holding a bloody axe. I didn't even realize this was a thing. We got a Centurion, a Hunchback 4G, and an Enforcer. Oh my god, this is amazing. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's check out our mechs one by one. We'll figure out what we're going on, and we'll explain a couple of things new to the brand new version of RogueTech. So he has a hatchet mounted onto his arm. It will give him +2 melee accuracy, +1 accuracy with an arm-mounted weapon, +60 melee damage. So we have a melee mech. In our previous 2 RogueTech campaigns, our stream campaign and our proper campaign, Sledges, Hammers, and Starburst Sardaukar, not necessarily in that order, we had no melee mechs. We were never able to build them. And here we have one right off the bat, one with a hatchet, +20% melee damage, +20% melee stability damage. This guy's hitting like a truck. He's going to do 83 melee damage. We have reached Toad levels of punchiness at this moment. Oh, that is fantastic. We have a pair of triplet of compact heatsinks. And so, and excellent. So we also get to show off a couple of other things. This version of RogueTech now features ammunition switching. So one of the cool things in BattleTech about LBX cannons, they couldn't use other specialty type of ammo, but what they could use was cluster rounds. And the LBX autocannon wasn't always a shotgun. It could either fire a normal slug, as you'd see in a normal autocannon, or it could fire the shotgun shell, which you would use to hunt for critical hits. Well, as far as I know, there's no computer mech warrior or BattleTech game, aside from now RogueTech, which has ever done the actual ammo switching. LBX autocannons always were shotguns. Now, if we go in, and according to this, if we left-click on the to-hit chance during the battle, we can swap ammo types. Which means, oh, there are so many options, especially for missile mechs, but also for ballistic mechs. This is awesome. This gives a whole new level of gameplay to both missiles and ballistics. Not so much to lasers, but that's fine. This has me excited. It is a very jumpy mech. As you can see, the entire interface has been cleaned up just so much. And now we can know which things we can't click. If it's hashed out like this, you can't move it, you can't pull it away. You've got to replace it. Cool thing about that, see how the structure is like this? Well, imagine if we had primitive armor here. Well, we couldn't remove it. We would have to replace it with another form of armor. And so that's what they've done with primitive mechs. Primitive mechs used to have the easy to hit characteristic, which just made it more easy for an enemy to hit you, and it basically made them mostly worthless. We had a Catapult 1R in Starburst campaign that, was just terrible because they could always hit it. It had limited hardpoints and it was easy to touch, so if the enemy ever saw it, they would rip into it and mostly kill it. Well, in this version of RogueTech, that quirk's been eliminated, and instead, primitive mechs will just come with primitive equipment. You'll have primitive engines, you'll have primitive structure, or maybe not structure, but primitive engines, primitive armor, primitive cockpit systems, and you can, over time, replace them with more advanced systems to actually turn them into realistic fighting machines. So any mech is now a useful mech. You may find the hardpoints a bit difficult to work with, but you'll never be completely handicapped by a mech that just has a negative quirk based on it. And as you can see, the interface has just been cleaned up massively. Everything is color-coded in such a more interesting way that works. There is now an e-cooling system, which has replaced putting additional heat sinks in the engine. If you want to add heat sinks to your engine, you have to find a higher version of e-cooling. So if you have an engine core that has additional heat sinks inside of it, say if you've got, I believe it's a 280 to get an additional 2 or 3 heat sinks inside, you'll have to find an e-cooling +2 in order to mount those additional heat sinks. That way it works out a little bit less glitchy than trying to add the heat sinks into the engine, and then in order to pull them out you have to take off the entire engine. So that'll work out quite nicely. So yeah, this mech probably going to see the front line. We've got a couple of really good pilots that are meant for close range combat, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. As you can see, the cockpit has now been split up into 3 separate things, so it's now more in the way the cockpits are actually designed in Tabletop. You've got your fire control system, which will affect how accurate your weapons are and see how far you can look. This one has a standard fire control system, which has an advanced zoom. We can see up to, I think it's 8 tiles away by default. We have a cockpit, which now controls our life support systems. You'll replace this with communications gear and that sort of thing. Communications gear you can use to increase your initiative, which has been totally overhauled, and increase resolve gain. And your sensors, which this one has sensors basics, but you can get better sensor systems to be able to see further out using your electronics. You can now shoot at sensor blips. You don't have to have visible line of sight of somebody in order to shoot it now, and these sensors play into that system much more heavily. This was the major big change that happened in version 997, the double blind rules, and it has totally turned gameplay on its head. Can't wait to show it off. This mech is extra fun because it's triple medium pulse, which means accuracy. Early on in game, medium pulse lasers, amazing, plus a hatchet. This is going to be a fun mech to wield. It's got 4 jump jets on total as well to make it nice and maneuverable, and the movement speed on this sucker is going to be 4.6 or 4.7? 4.7. So it's not going to be insane, but it'll be good enough for what we need. And also, if worst comes to worst, we can end up jumping 150 meters. So not terrible at all. Each tile is 30 meters, so that's a movement of 5 tiles for jumping. All right, into our Valiant, which I don't know what this is. Is this part of Flashpoint? Because I don't think I've ever seen a mech quite like this. It has a vibro axe. Oh, so not just 1, but 2 melee mechs already, and I kind of figured it would be a melee mech because of what I saw on the outside. It's got a combat shield small for the damage reduction, -5%, a vibro axe for +4 melee accuracy, +2 accuracy with arm-mounted weapons. There's none on here, but hey, maybe the melee weapon counts, so maybe it's a +6 melee accuracy, +50 melee damage, 3 heat per turn. I don't know if, oh yeah, it generates 3 heat because it's a vibro axe, because it's buzzing. It's vibrating at such a high rate that when it hits it, it just sort of parts the molecules. Very clean. You may recognize things like that from Star Wars, which also have vibro swords and vibro axes. It is a single ton overweight, which is somewhat concerning. I'm not quite sure. It has a supercharger on board for 40% walk distance, 10% sprint distance, 15% heat generated extra. It's got triple ER medium lasers for additional long range work. Whole ton of patchwork materials to try and get things under control here. I'll probably have to try and report the Valiant. It's a VAL NT1 or JX because the weight is slightly off. But that's just a matter of dialing things in, and that's probably because they ended up completely overhauling a ton of things. So small glitches like that, totally to be expected. Also packing a double heatsink. It's got a double heatsink kit on board. Oh, lovely. So that will make it so it's nice and chill. Heat efficiency is 60 for 45. Do you have jump jets? He can mount 7 of them, though it doesn't have any right now. So even under, like, burning hot conditions, we should be just fine. It is a 30-ton mech, though, so not insanely durable. We are looking at not huge armor values, but that speed is a Tabletop 7. Wow, you are fast. That's 710, I believe, which is just, wow, we're just going to be blitzing along. We can swing this axe at people left, right, and center. 5% damage taken. It's going to be great. And as you can see, the armor here is the bog standard version, so we can't pull it out. It's locked down. We have to replace it, but we can't remove it. If you've got a primitive mech, you have to replace it. You can't just pull off the primitive armor. So the Valiant is definitely probably going to fall into our lands. Got a Centurion C9D. Very standard Centurion is what I'm assuming it is. Oh, maybe not. I see a double heatsink. Oh, no, it's not. This is most certainly an advanced Centurion on this one. We are looking at a pair of MML5, so we've got an MML 10 pack over here. MMLs are multi-missile launchers. In Tabletop, they fire both SRM ammo and LRM ammo. They don't care. They can use them both. They're super flexible. The penalty for that is it's heavier and it takes more. It's heavier and it takes more size, I believe. So the MML5 is 3 tons like the SRM6 is, although it has a single less missile, and it takes up just as much space. The LRM5 would be 1 ton, 1.5 tons, so it's an interesting setup. And it has Artemis 4 ammo, wow, for the additional accuracy. +2 evasion pips ignored, plus 100% critical hits on this weapon, and 100 shots requires Artemis ammo to be installed. If we put in normal ammo, we could swap between the Artemis and the normal. And this one has a TTS Artemis 5 in its fire control slot. Gives us a +2 accuracy with missile weapons. This targeting computer allows the Artemis 4 ammo to be used and provides normal targeting data. Cannot be used with other missile TTSs and enables using Artemis 4. So that replaces his normal fire control system. And as you can see, you just put it on, and there's the fire control standard underneath if you want to put it on there. It also has an LBX-10, which means it can use both slug and cluster. So you select which version you think that you need. You use slug to punch through armor, then you use clusters once the armor is open to hunt for criticals. So that's the general concept of how you want to work it. It also has a tag and a pair of medium lasers. So a nice, solid, reliable mech, as Centurions often are. Do you have any quirks? He does not. He's just restricted to certain hand actuators. But he has a hand on the one side, so we could give him something like a sword or a installed vibroblade. Alrighty, on to the next map. Yes, we want to discard all unsafe changes. On to our Hunchback 4G. Oh, you couldn't get more iconic than the Hunchback 4G. AC-20 in the shoulder, 2 medium lasers, and a small laser in the head. This is the quintessential awesome medium. Hunchbacks have been one of my favorite mechs in terms of just effectiveness ever in BattleTech, because that AC-20 on a mech that's 50 tons. It's not super fast. It's a 4.6. Which is not incredible. A turbo back is better. It has a larger engine. It only has a single small laser in the head. It loses both these medium lasers, but that sucker will run at 5.8, which is awesome. We'll try and look into turning this mech into a turbo back as we move forward. So nothing too special to say about him because he's only got normal technology. I think this Enforcer might be the same way. It's a 3R. So we're looking at an AC-10 plus a pair of medium lasers and a small laser, bog standard fire control system, armor, all the rest. It does have jump jet, so it's a little bit more maneuverable. That heat efficiency we're looking at is 42 for 38 with an average jump heat of 8. So if we jump super far, we might run it hot, but other than that, it should run relatively cool. So a pretty solid lineup for the beginning. We've got 2 awesome melee mechs I'm very much looking forward to, and just a group of solid extras. Really, it's going to be the question between the Centurion or the Enforcer. We're probably going to take the Centurion because the Centurion also happens to have the tag on board as well as slightly better weapons. The Enforcer probably going to be our backup mech. Yeah, it's a bog standard Enforcer. There's nothing special about it. This will definitely end up being the backup mech that we end up using. So this will be our primary lance. And we have a reason to bring our melee people. God, I've never seen this thing before. Where is this from? I don't recall this. Is this like a kit patch or something? I'm going to have to take a close look at it because I don't ever remember that mech. And I don't, because it was the Cyclops, the Hatchetman, and the Crab that came with flashpoints. So this has got to be something for RogueTech. Alright, let's open up the contracts and see what it is we are about to do. We'll pop over here and back to the contracts, just out of habit, really. Let's see what it is we're dealing with. We got a whole bunch of bottom level missions. Now, a couple of things about difficulty. One, I didn't change anything in the standard difficulty selector aside from I increased our chance of getting broken mechs, our own mechs if they get blown up. Our chance has gone from 50% to 70% because more often than not we actually accomplish the mission, and so it seems kind of ridiculous that we lose the mech, but I didn't want to be a surefire thing. So it's gone up by 20%, a little bit more reliable, hopefully, cross your fingers. And when I installed this version of RogueTech, what we ended up doing was we put on planet difficulty rather than lance-based difficulty. That's just so that if we want to use the B team more often, train people up, we have easy planets with which we can use to actually build an entire new lance around. I wanted to make sure that was an availability, and we're going to do it that way. So let's pick on. Hopefully there will be a pretty decent battle. There's an assassinate for 2 of 9. I was hoping for a low-level battle, but that may not be something that's available. If we go up into the 1 skulls, we do have a battle, 3 of 13 salvage. We don't need cash right now. We're at 1.8 million. We're fine there. And this does appear to be a pirate battle, so let's pick this up. It is going to be more elite pilots, but hopefully fragile mechs. Alright, so we want... we're going to put the Valiant up front because it's the lightest mech, then our Hatchet Man, our Centurion, and our Hunchback, which is the fire support mech. So we're putting Ripper in the Centurion because Ripper is the best gun. Omega will rock the Hunchback. And then we need a couple of good pilots for our Valiant and our Hatchet Man. Oh, I'm tempted to go for Exodus, but I think we may want to go with one of our... Yeah, we're going to brother the Valiant, and Hammer, who's rocking the same stats, will be in the Hatchet Man. The Hatchet Man does have an AC 10, which we kind of would like to use relatively effectively, but the Pulse Lasers should be able to sort his problems. Valiant, ER mediums, so get close, they're a little bit more effective. Alright, so Brother of the Valiant, Hammer bringing the Hatchet, Ripper in the Centurion, and Omega rolling the Hunchback. So let's get on dropping. It's a 1.5 shield lance going up against a 1 skull mission. So hopefully things will turn out alright. Cross your fingers. So definitely looking forward to see what sort of things that we can get going on this one. So there have been 2 major changes. The double blind rules, which have completely overhauled sensors, which I'll wait till we're in mission. And the other major change is to the initiative system. In the normal version of RogueTech, there are 5 phases of initiative. There's 1 for lights that are moving super fast, then normal lights, mediums, heavies, and assaults. This version of RogueTech has changed it. There's now something like 30 initiative phases. The bar up top is gone, because that would just be ridiculous to try and keep track of. And every single pilot will roll every single turn, and based on the weight of their mech, certain cockpit mods, and their skill, I believe in tactics, will affect what level of initiative that they get. And if they get a high level of initiative, then they get to move first, even if they're in a slow mech. And if they're an especially terrible pilot, and they're in a light mech, then they will go lower on. So... a good pilot can make a heavy mech go really fast in initiative order if you need. So, many years ago, we fought a lengthy conflict with pirates here in Galatia. Recently, however, news has trickled in from remote regions of the planet, enemy forces harrying regional transportation. Eyewitness reports describe very old mechs in colors from a conflict long since ended. You are to show these old mech warriors that the war is over for them. So let's drop down on this sucker and hopefully hit him with a ton of bricks. We've brought the axes, we've brought the hatchets, as well as the guns and cannons. So they are somewhere off in the distance. I saw the mech, but I wasn't able to recognize it. It was too small. So we've got Omega and Brother, both able to operate at the same phase. Omega is currently rolling a Hunchback, and he's at initiative 14. Brother is at initiative 14 as well. So let's get on sprinting forward with our melee mech. And actually, I'm going to pause for a moment and zoom back in on that because I do not recognize this mech from MechWarrior Online. And I had thought that they were bringing most of them over, but apparently this is a new build. Or maybe it's just a resized Hatchet Man. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know anything about it. Oh, I only walked. I didn't sprint. Whoops. So we will brace there, guarded and entrenched, plus our combat shield to give us a little bit of extra protection. We will sprint the Hunchback, give him a little bit of an altitude advantage. He should be able to come down these slopes, I think, and lay in with that AC 20. Down to Hammer. It's Hammer time. Let's move this Hunchback let's move this Hatchman as fast as we can, which is not particularly fast, unfortunately. At least it doesn't look very fast. Can he jump? Wow, he can jump pretty much the same distance. Okay, so we'll get him in the pass as well. Once they break out, he can whack on people with a hatchet. Oh, it's this map. Oh, it's the map where we got our Bushwhacker, or at least parts to a Bushwhacker. So Ripper is up on the last one in his Centurion. Centurion's also not known for being particularly quick. So we'll walk him forward and stride him into battle with his autocannon. Nothing on sensors as of yet. We're going to reserve. Put a reserve to open up all my mechs. Even though it's not the same as it used to be, where you would reserve down to the assault phase. Keep reserving. Because Brother got all the way down to an 8. Ooh, he rolled poorly on that one. Oh, it doesn't. It just kind of resets your values. That's interesting. Let's get the Valiant moving. Sprinting and in cover, we have identification of a blip. It is a butcher and a heavy-wheeled APC with machine guns. And as you can see, we can actually get more information on them, even though they're just blips, because of our sensor system. Now, we don't know anything about this mech. We don't know its tonnage. We don't know the pilot. We don't know who's in it. But if you get good enough sensor systems, you can find all of that out. So, Brother has been moved and is locked down. Let's follow up as soon as we can with Hammer. And Hammer can target these guys. He has a long enough range autocannon that he can actually see them. Well, he can't see them, but he can shoot at their sensor blips. So we're going to sprint up as far as we can. And the Hatchman is currently on slug ammo. And all we gotta do is we gotta click on the hit chance. Also shut the cannon off. We click over there to change the type. The cluster has a slightly better accuracy, but using the slug type, we can have a 10% chance to hit to punch through. So 11 shots for 8 damage, which is 88 damage, but it scatters all over the mech, versus the slug round, which is a single shot for 60 damage. This makes LBXs just so much better than they used to be. They were okay, but now they are flat out amazing. All right, let's get sprinting forward. I don't think I want to be up here, actually. Yeah, I recall now that once we're up here, you don't get down. So we're going to move Ripper first, actually. And the reason why we're going to move Ripper is so Ripper doesn't get boxed in by the slow as all heck Omega. So sprint him in as well. We will have probably a pretty bad chance to hit. 22 and a 9. We're going to open fire. Oh, we don't want to fire the cluster. We just don't want to fire the cannon at all. We're going to fire our MMLs. Another thing to keep in mind, cannons have a chance to jam. If they recoil, and they recoil multiplies by their jam chance, then they can not work. I don't know if that's for a turn or if that's like a permanent weapon off system, but we're probably going to find out at some point in this campaign. And Omega will bring up the rear because I made a mistake and put him on the wrong mountain. But that's okay. We'll get in close. We'll chop him up, hopefully. Although a butcher mech sounds like it's the kind of mech that wants to be in close quarters with you. So maybe we sort of keep away from him. And we can now see him. We have him in sight. And he's fired a PPC. Oh boy. And as you can see, there's new missile effects. And there's also a whole bunch of new sound effects. So that PPC really screeching now. The butcher looks like a Vindicator. I don't know if that's because it's a named mech or if it's actually a Vindicator. Oh, we got a dagger. Daggers are dangerous. Daggers have jump jets? So this is a heat dealer mech. It is a locust with a whole bunch of evil systems in order to make you absolutely cry. And we've got the heavy-wheeled APC moving on forward. So we've got 3 targets identified so far. We're not sure what's going on with it. We are in melee range, and we can absolutely do it. Or I could melee you for an 82% chance. I think I want to take a dagger offline because I know how deadly this thing is. 87% chance to hit, so let's roll on in there for the first melee attack of the season. Oh, it's a Raven. I didn't realize the dagger was a Raven. No, it says Locust, but it's a Raven model. So the Valiant is here with his axe. 30-ton mech hitting for 90 damage. Oh, clang. -1 initiative next round. Engine destroyed, but that's only the side torso. He's taken a nasty hit. An excellent way to open things up. Hammer, I don't think is going to have a shot on anybody. Well, 2% and a 16%. All right, get on the move. Get that sprinter rolling. As you can see, we can no longer see the butcher. Not even on sensors. We've got too much intervening terrain. We don't have good enough sensors to actually keep a lock on him, so he's invisible. In the forest, he's harder to see anyway. And now because we don't have line of sights, our sensors just not quite as effective. So he's gone. That's one of the things that stealth will do for you. It'll make you just, gosh darn, you're invisible. So time to keep sprinting the Hatchetman. Doesn't really have a good range to target. I don't want to waste the rounds on the cannon. I don't want to put recoil or a jam chance on it. Let's get Ripper on the roll as well. He's got shots on 2 side targets. 15%, not great. And a 20% over there. I think we'll pop our MMLs off over at this guy. I kind of want to get him off the ship just as soon as possible. And we can tag him. So, new missile sound effects. New little glowy effects. Tag getting way missed on that one. But we did get a couple of hits on the APC. Not terrible. Could have been worse. Omega will bring up the rear. And as soon as he can, we're going to hopefully try and get that big ol' AC-20 in range. Once you put an AC-20 in range of somebody, somebody's gonna die. That's the plan anyway. And we've got a melee attack incoming from the butcher. He's coming in from behind. Oh no! Oh, hit us for 63 damage. That's our Vibro Sword side. Is it a Vibro Sword or Vibro Axe? Please don't hit my Vibro Axe. Oh, it's a Vibro Sword. Please don't hit my Vibro Sword. It's the Vibro Sword. Okay, he missed the Vibro Sword. Unfortunately, the Raven's probably going to blow it up. I am now not a happy camper because I got punched and I'm about to lose my vibro sword. I do not want to lose my vibro sword. On the plus side, hit my... No! Vibro sword! Well, so much for that mech. That was a really awesome mech too, and now it's just lost a ton of melee damage, I assume. A little bit of heat. Didn't actually hit it, so no heat. However, the butcher's back is now towards us. We might be able to take advantage of that. APC is like, I ain't signing up for this. And he's gone, invisible. So, brother, how much damage? You're still doing 90 damage. If I get into the back of him, I can just shred life. Won't be moving particularly fast, though, if I do that. Throw evasion, not high. 110 armor on the front, 50 on the back. If I get a good hit, I could really tear into him. And we're going to give that a shot. Swing for the fences. Oh, there goes his entire shoulder. Injury ignored for the side torso, so the butcher is definitely a hero. Comes up. Alright, Ripper, you've got a shot on the back of somebody. It's a 20% chance. How about if I sprinted to get you closer? In the open, it's a 15. And in the forest, it's an 11. So we're going to walk on this one. And we're going to get you a target. Oh, I thought I had a slightly better chance than that. Is it here? 15, yeah, that must have been it. So we'll roll up in here. Now, he doesn't have any holes in his back at the moment, and I don't have any good identifying information. Only Brother has that sort of information, so kind of want to remember that sort of thing when you go into him. So, 30% chance with the cluster. I just want to get some shots down range. MMLs will be much more accurate, so open fire. Okay, we did hit him with one of the lasers. Lovely. And engine destroyed. We tore him apart. Lovely. So Ripper able to come in with some long-range fire support, using his cluster rounds to get some good accuracy on there, and ripped him to shreds. Lovely. I get a back shot on you for 12%. How about if I sprint it over to the side? I can get an actual back shot for 10%. I think we're gonna go cluster rounds, 21% on that one. So a whole bunch of shots, got a couple of hits in. Nothing too special though. I'm really kind of salty about losing that axe. That axe was so cool. Maybe we'll get it back if we just repair the mech. Alright, down to the dagger. Dagger gets to rock and roll, and he's going to... Oh, we're in cover, because we did our thing. Oh, the APC must be moving. So 33% of the enemy has... Nope, the dagger does get to move. Dagger gonna punch, but he can't touch us. We're gonna loop around behind him and just axe him again, or at least try him. So another laser. Lucky for us, we do have a combat shield. We have been target acquired, so we're easier to hit. Come on, go to Brother, go to Brother. And... Brother. Alright, Brother. Let's go really lay into this guy. We're going to get around behind him again. 90 damage for 91% chance of it happening. And he's gone! Just gone entirely. That's a kill. Melee mechs, man. They are so much fun. We didn't get to use them at all during our last 2 campaigns, and now we actually have access to them. We have access to 2 of them. I so hope I can get this Vibro Axe back. I just desperately hope I get that Vibro Axe back. Because it's such a cool weapon. Who wouldn't want it's a Vibro Sword, not a Vibro Axe, technically. But it looks like a bloody axe. Lock him down, and we're coming for you, Mr. APC. You are not gonna get away. Alright, let's get the Centurion on the roll. Just a solid, reliable fire support platform. That's all it is. And it's got a shield arm, but I don't think it actually has the shield yet. We could equip one on it. That would make sense. I'd like to do that at some point. Brother. Let's get your sensors a little bit further forward. You're not going to walk into unknown tech just yet. Oh, there you were. I saw you for a moment. Oh, he's almost invisible. Lock him down there. Enemy turn. We have a sensor lock. So he's on the move once again, and we identified him. His APC is mine. Opening fire with his machine guns. A little bit of damage, not too bad. We're doing okay. Ripper. Ripper, my buddy, my pal, my friend. Can't actually get a direct line of sight, unfortunately. The indirect line of sight with the Artemis, however, will grant us a 13% chance to hit, so we'll rush that on forward and kick on the MML Artemis. Love him. And not doing terrible damage at all. Very happy to see how that was working out. Unfortunately, I don't think Hammer is going to get into this fight, although it looks like Hammer has the exact same melee damage as Brother does. That's kind of ridiculous. Lock him down. And Omega bringing up the rear. He's got this big old AC-20 with 10 rounds. He's got effectively 2,000 damage. Or, no, he's got 1,000 damage out of this thing. And he's probably not going to be able to deal it in this entire game. Oh, Ripper gets to move after the wheeled APC. Got some fire coming down on the Hunchback. So Omega taking a little bit of a spray-in, but he's okay. He thinks. And Ripper's up. Ripper has a side angle shot. If he sprints, can he get it back? He can get a side angle over here. We're looking at 43. Get up close and personal, and we're looking at a 43, but that's because we're sprinting. How if we just walked it? 43 because that's obstructed, but if we open it up, 63, I'm going to take that. Line him up. We are going to set this LBX to a slug. It'll be 63% chance, but if it gets, it'll penetrate. Did I kill you? We got him. Alright, that's 100% of the enemy lance destroyed. Enemies dealt with as we move on. Okay, cross your fingers and hope that that axe stays with the mech, because I don't want to lose it. That is too cool to not have. So, let's see what we've got to work with so far. I wish for salvage. Yep, we got 85,990. Not super important. And Centaurian picked up 2 kills, and Brother picked up 1. Not bad. A lot of damage on Brother. We're gonna have to work on that. So it was a Vindicator, and this Vindicator is... Duncan Fisher once said, "The Butcher was the natural product of Solaris' sweaty and testosterone-driven battles, forged in the heat of battle and adorned with the remains of other gladiator mechs." Interesting, and there's 4 of them. We may want other things. There is a fluid gun. Fluid guns can fire well in CQB. Uses fluid canisters. Ah, so fluid guns are no longer specific to the type. You pick your ammunition. Oh, that's even better. I love the new ammunition switch. Narc Beacon. Armored cowl for injury resist. Endo steel. An internal combustion engine is not something we're particularly interested in. Ooh, FCS Predator. Called shot. Improves call shot modifier by 10%, plus 5% from increased sight range. Advanced zoom range up to 210 meters, which I think is less. But thermal vision grants a bonus of 3 for overheating targets. Each threshold maximum of plus 5. Heat threshold thermal vision is 40 points of heat. That's really cool, actually. The armored cowl is an injury resist cockpit that'll replace the life support systems. Plus 1 initiative, plus 2 injury resist, and ferrofibers. There's so much good stuff here. Defense gyro. Narc Beacon, you're going away. I'm sorry. That's a defense gyro. Let's actually drop this all the way down to the bottom. See if... Oh, it didn't automatically scroll up. Ammo Narc Haywire? Oh, wait, so Haywire... Narc Beacons now fire Haywire systems as well. Warfare Suites... There's just so much cool stuff here. It's an active probe and electronic countermeasure all in a single tight little package. Do I really need that endo steel? That's a double heatsink kit. That's going in there right away. Give me that. Thank you. Okay. We're happy with that. Oh, I'm so very happy. Just the first mission, we're getting rewarded just hugely. Sensor recon, which would give us additional sensor systems. Do I need this armored cowl? I mean, we could pick up Predator Vision and have just a better chance of hitting somebody who's overheating. We don't have any way of committing to that overheat. Defense gyro. Defense gyro to go in what our melee mechs. And if I... Oh, there's so much good stuff. So much good stuff. Defense gyro. Lock that in before I just go crazy with all the cool things. Oh, wow, that loaded quick. We got 2 parts for the Butcher. 1 part for the... 1 part for the Dragon. For the dagger. We picked up the flamer. We picked up the fluid gun. We don't have any fluid canisters to go with it yet. Pair of machine guns is a bit of a waste. We got the Narc Beacon, which I don't think I selected. I think I dropped it. Gyro and this... And a Slick Suite. And ammo for the Narc Beacon. That was a good haul. Nice way to start things. I'm very happy with that. So we did take some pretty rough damage on, unfortunately, our very, very cool battle mech, the Valiant. Hopefully we can repair that without having too many problems, because that Valiant is really, really badass. In fact, I gotta read the description on that Valiant, because I know nothing about it. It might be a different type of mech that I'm not aware of. So, picked up a lot of good stuff, a lot of good support systems. The Narc system is very useful, and now looks like Narc fires Narc or Haywire, which could be awesome, especially if we can get some Narc Beacons to actually go with it. Also gives you a reason to bring just a single Narc and multiple ammo, which will really help out with your weight problems if you wanted to do both. Merrick took Peck from Calmstar, and Devin took Yip Ju from the Ghost Bear. 42,000 for the next 7 days. So we still made money on that contract, which is pretty surprising, actually. All right, let's check out our managed tasks. Hunchback is 1 day. The Valiant is 7. I will let the Hunchback finish first because I do want to keep the op tempo going a little bit. So we pick up a Hunchback and a quick check in the mech bay. Anybody dented? Anybody horrifically badly damaged? No? Okay. Valiant, I don't know if you're going to be fixed in any... The Valiant VAL NTJX Hot Knife is a prototype Valiant that trades out the mask and hatchet for a shield and vibroblade with an actuator enhancement system. This means the Hot Knife is slower but more durable and even deadlier in close combat. Hopefully we're not going to get too badly screwed over. Centurion. The Centurion, did you need anything? Because we got some interesting systems. An electronic warfare system would not necessarily go awry. Hatchet Man could also use it, honestly. He's kind of slow, though. It's actually concerning how slow he was. Because I would have expected him to just blitz off at full speed. Maybe we save some equipment for now. So let's... Our mech warriors are currently on fatigue. As you can see, we've got 4 mechs ready to go, and it's going to be a week before our pilots are ready. So if you want to keep up op tempo, it's time to bring in the B team. So let's set up another contract and use the B team. Escort, defend base, escort is our easy missions, plus an assassinate. It is dead or alive. A wanted war criminal has been spotted on Galatia. Unfortunately, he appears to have integrated himself with local government-aligned mercenary companies. We need you to track him down and destroy his mech. Yeah, let's take it. We're going to take it for salvage. We want to take a lot of salvage early on in the game. So we'll take the 2 of 9 assassinate contract. We are going to take our primary pilots off the line for just a little bit and shift the hatchman down some so we can bring the enforcer. And we don't have any melee pilots, unfortunately, but we do have a whole bunch of people who have decent accuracy. Bullet trap will go in the Centurion because the Centurion should have shots a little bit better. All 3 other pilots are going to be rocking the normal. I'm going to put Exodus I'm going to put Exodus in the hatchman because he's the most maneuverable. Also another AC-10. And then we'll put Hacker in the Enforcer, Majestic in the Hunchback. Nah, swap the 2. Majestic in the Enforcer, Hacker in the Hunchback. Why? Alliteration. That's why. Alright, let's drop down. We've got Exodus in the Hatchetman, Majestic in the Enforcer, Bullet Trap Rock in the Centurion, and Hacker in the Hunchback. So hopefully this will go relatively smoothly. It is an assassinate mission, which can get a little bit dicey, and relatively quickly too. But if we do a good job, we might get some really cool mech parts. It's only a 2 of 9, but all stuff is really important in this, so we're very happy to be working on this. Oh, I'm so happy we're on the most recent version. It's awesome! Running into more varied mechs, way more complicated systems. One of my favorite things about RogueTech has been that it took the mech lab and made it a mech lab again, instead of sort of that underwhelming, somewhat milquetoast version that the Harebrained Schemes BattleTech vanilla version is. Great starting point, but I really wish Harebrained Schemes had been a little bit more aggressive in putting in a more complicated mech lab. And the fact that RogueTech does is... oh, I love it. It saves this game. Which isn't to say that BattleTech is a bad game, but RogueTech saves this game. It just makes it something that I could play for hours and hours and hours on, and I have. I mean, I think I've got like 155 hours at this point, which I know, to some people that's nothing, but to me, I generally don't play games that long. Alrighty, so we have local government forces and the target himself, who is currently hiding in there. Let's get Majestic on the move. And they're moving first because they are tactics pilots, which means they have an increase to their initiative. So don't ignore tactics if you want to make people again, because it used to be that tactics was just a total dump stamp. Why would you ever use it? It's totally worthless, essentially. Well, now there's a reason for it. Coming along with the hatchet man with his big ol' hatchet. Nothing on sensors, but that's partly because I don't think you can see people on the first turn, or at least there's major debuffs, just pretty much to prevent the AI from like showing up ahead of you and annihilating you. And bring the Hunchback up last. Get his cannon already. Alrighty, no targets on sensors, but that may be a function of the fact that we don't have very good sensors with us. We can get into the forest, and we will use that for a little bit of defense. Somewhere around here there will be the enemy, and we just don't know where they are. Oh, we got him. Okay, so we got a Stinger. Stinger's not a very big battle mech. It's a very light battle mech. The Stinger, by the way, is still being played, and a Wasp. Stinger is still being played by the Black Knight, unfortunately. But that's because we don't have a Stinger model yet. We're being shot at, and I think you are a wasp, so you are a Wolf's Dragoon's wasp with a whole bunch of small lasers.
Receiving you.
Exodus can get a shot with his hatchet man. Can Majestic get that shot? Oh, Majestic can get that shot with his Enforcer, which is more of what he should be doing. We've got an altitude advantage, we've got a target, and we've got a side shot on. He is evasive, but I think that'll be good enough. We'll shut off the small laser. Don't see the point. We'll keep the heat down. Fire. We hit him with both one of the beam lasers and the cannon. We can't see him, so we don't know what he did to him. And we don't have good enough sensors to give us a detailed information about the Wasp yet. But that's not a bad way to begin. Oh, I think we tore off his leg. He was falling over. So not a bad way to go. We got more contacts up here. We got a Raven. Ravens are a bit of a problem. Ravens are excellent scout mechs. They've got integrated electronic warfare suites, and they are basically designed to find the enemy, mark the enemy, and let the enemy not kill them. They're really cool mechs. I like them a lot. I could get over here to shoot at the Stinger who is downed, but I kind of want to get up here for the Raven. Still got Bullet Trap and Hacker to move, right? So Exodus, I think we reserve. Brings up Bullet Trap.
Receiving you.
Bullet Trap can come over with a Centurion. Could take a shot over here, or we could fire down there. I think we'll send our... maybe it's not a great idea to send our gunner mechs up top. Well, I do want to kill him in relatively short order. And we do have more information about this Wasp now that we can see him. Or we can't see him, but because we get the paper doll. We don't have information on this screen, but... well, there's limitations. So we're going to try and take out his legs. I think we blew him up. Just get those MMLs. Yeah, I think he's dead. I'm not he's dead. Oh, he's very dead. Exodus, that was 25% of the enemy forces. Exodus is going to want to be in amongst the enemy. He does have jump jets, so it's not a huge problem if we send him down below. So we are going to. We're going to put him in the mineral field. We got more accuracy on the enemy. We see the other 3 targets and lock him down. Probably should have seen what that chance to hit was, but I don't imagine it was very high. So we've got that Stinger 20 tons and a Jenner off over here. It's going to be important to remember that you can actually see these things. And we are in visual range now. Combat has been joined. So let's get ready to really rip into him. I'm hoping to be able to nail him with the hatchet. I got a side-on shot and also a walk. Keep ourselves in the forest. The Jenner we have a little bit better accuracy on. Not great. Also not great. Do I have LBX ammo? I do not. Okay. So that's a shame. We are recoiling, which gives us also a jam chance. I'm going to kill you with the hatchet, man. You're dead. You are going to be more work. So I'm going to focus on the Raven. You miss 100% of the shots you don't make. And we also then missed 100% of the shots we did make. So unfortunate. Probably going to spend a turn to let this autocannon settle. It's currently building up recoil, which builds up its chance to jam, which is not tremendous. You don't want to jam the gun. In Tabletop BattleTech, if you jam a cannon, that's it for the rest of the match. You don't get it back unless it's a rotary autocannon. So I don't think they're going to be quite that mean about it, but they might be. I could swing in a punch for a pretty decent amount of damage, or I can try and get involved with a Jenner over here. Kind of want to do that. Yeah, I'll be in cover if I set up right there. 20%, 34% high. Miss. Oh, double hit with both the medium lasers and the small. Nice going with that one. I mean, sure, you missed with the autocannon 20, which would have been awesome if you had hit with it, but we'll work with it. Jenner coming over to try and punch the hatchet man. I think you're getting into a duel that you really don't want to be in. And you missed. Well, I suppose he did want to be in cover. Do I have enough information about this guy now? 4 medium lasers, I'm going to assume. And we know nothing about you. Bullet Trap.
Ready for orders.
Bullet Trap, can you get him behind him? I can get to the side of him for terrible accuracy, but that's kind of to be expected. Let's get Bullet Trap continue to march forward.
On it.
We're going to try and get this Raven. This Raven provides an ECM bubble. If he gets close enough to his friends, that would be very, very painful. Nailed him with a cannon. That opened him up for sure. We're going to be able to start firing cluster rounds at him now, because we're going to start hunting for crypts to rip him apart. And the Raven is now within visual range. We can see... oh, we hit his arm. I was hoping for a torso. He's probably providing ECM cover. Hit us with the large laser. So the Enforcer taking some nasty hits, but we are now in a position where we can get behind the Raven pretty easily, too. And I don't believe the AC-10 has a minimum range. Shutdown override was successful, but he is hot. If we had that Predator cockpit on board, we would have a much higher accuracy chance. Exodus with the Hatchet Man. 69. 92, get into his back for 99.1. Let's swing this sucker. 90%, or 113 to melee damage. Ooh, there is nothing left of that mech. Just completely gutted. Alrighty, on to the enemy turn. I assume it's the Raven. Do I get any... Ooh, I'm going to have the Hunchback. Who will move first? Hacker, really? Just awesome. Hacker, I want you to swing your axe at his back. You have a chance, so go for it. And the main reason why is because if I can hit him... Oh, we missed! We missed! We had a chance to kill him. And now he's going to get to move. Oh, no, he won't. Hacker gets to move first. You, sir, might be dead. 11%. That just goes to show how rough it is to fight in the mineral fields. Fire! Miss. And then we hit him with a couple of lasers. No penetrations yet, but we're working on it. Probably should have used the Battle Fist. It's only 42 damage compared to 113, but it's not bad. Oh, he's behind us with lasers. He managed to hit us a couple of times. The Hatchet Man is reeling a bit, but he's no longer in the mineral field, and the Hatchet Man will probably be quite accurate.
Yes, boss.
Majestic would like to get around into the back. Can I both move? We don't know what his initiative is, so we're just going to get around into his back. AC 10 will be at a 40% accuracy. If I sprinted and got a little bit further distance. 28. 34. And what was that at walking? 40. So yeah, we're going to walk into his rear line and open fire. We missed with the cannon that I really wanted to hit and managed to dent him pretty okay on his back armor. Bullet Trap will not get to move first, but he's backed up, so Bullet Trap might be able to get a shot in the back. More shots coming into the Enforcer's left side, but the left side is mostly okay. And he is still cooking it. If he stays up there too long, he might explode. He might want to consider that fact. Ooh, we can't get around. He has blocked us. So let's go up, take a little bit of an altitude advantage. We got a 50% chance to hit with that cannon. What's in your arm here? We don't know. Oh, that adds such an interesting dimension. We just don't know. Fire. Hunt for them crits. Oh, we got some crits. We got some crits. He's been detected and target acquired. We got him under tag. You are not getting away. Enemy turn, they get to roll first. It's the Raven rolling first. And he's going to fire at the Hunchback. Large laser, not able to get anything through the mineral field. Hopefully, we will move before them. I'm seeing a 15 on our Hunchback. And emergency shutdown initiated. Alrighty. Let's get the Hatchman to swing his hatchet. An 88. 84. Yeah, we're going to take the 88. Can I get the back? We'll take the 88 here. Alright, going for the 100 damage. Swing that. Oh, there goes an arm. Damaged him okay. -1 to his initiative, so we might be able to get a good shot onto his back. Hacker, can you provide a 28% chance? How do I just punched him? Hacker, punch. 70%? 75%? Yeah, we'll go for it. Swing them Battle Fists. Miss. Ooh, a 75% chance and a miss. Unfortunate. That does allow us to sort of reset our cannon, which is the main reason I did that. I wanted to get that recoil back under control and also maybe kill him in a very cool fashion. Alright, Bullet Trap. Here's the deal, Bullet Trap. I want this mech intact, okay? Because the amount of important and cool stuff in a Raven is super high. So your job here is to shoot him in such a way as to blow off his leg. Now, you may have thought that I said blow him up. I did not. Blow up the leg. Okay, good. The leg has been blown up. Note to self, reset that from cluster to slug, because that could have been bad. And the pilot is on his back. -2 his initiative, -15 to his initiative. He is not going first next turn, that's for gosh darn sure. And we are going to walk to the other side of this mech. And we're going to aim at him. So the leg has some health in it, and the torso has some health in it. So aim just at the head. Normal slug. And every single weapon. Right? Go for the leg. Okay, you hit the CT with that. Not great. Head hit, pilot injured. Okay, we can take that. But the goal is to take the leg off, not the mech apart. I think he's made it back into the mineral field where he will fire, and getting some lasers in on the Hatchet Man's hatchet, but blocking it with that big slug of metal. We still have the primary target to actually dive after, so we got to keep that in mind. Alright, let's see who sorts out where. Majestic is first.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, Majestic does not have shoot and scoot. Majestic is going to take a step back.
Location.
He's going to aim at that leg, which has less, but we'd prefer not to kill the CT. We're going to aim for it again. Okay, legs are gone. Don't kill the whole mech. Don't kill the whole mech. Didn't kill the whole mech. Aha! Okay, we're going to be part 2 of Raven. Back to our turn. Hacker's up.
Good to go.
Hacker's in a hunchback with a big ol' cannon. And can Hacker get around to your back? If he sprints. He can. You don't say. Hacker's not going to get right behind you because Hacker has an intention that he would like to shoot at you and then have his buddy come in support. Hi, fire. Oh, there goes most of your mech. So we did actually manage to hit him with the AC-20. -7 to his initiative. 2 of 3 injuries remain. He is unsteady, which means Bullet Ant is up next, actually. And Bullet Ant can get his shot into the back. From on high, the Centurion strikes. And yeah, we're going to fire at his back because as far as I remember, he had an opening in that back. Fire the clusters.
Confirmed.
Yeah, we got the engine destroyed out of that one. Alrighty, so enemy supporting forces eliminated. Now it's just our primary target. Exodus.
Ready for orders.
You're going to walk this phase, and the reason why you're going to walk is because I would like to get you restable. He's not terrifically unstable, but he is a little bit. And we want to get that under control.
Waiting for orders.
Same deal with Hacker. He's going to walk it, striding forward in the hunchback, and brace. Shedding heat, shedding instability, resetting recoil. Yeah, we're doing all the things we need to do. And the enemy has moved. He's moved to the right. Bullet trap. Bullet trap is nice and chill. And I should be able to run a pretty decent way around this rim.
Aye, aye.
Using the Centurion. I want to strike at him from on high using that height advantage. Oh, I can change it. Nice. And lock him down. Majestic.
How's it going?
You're going to basically do the same thing, except if worse comes to worse, you can jump down. And that will be very useful. So we've got our 2 AC-10 mechs up high. Well, technically we've got 3 AC-10 mechs because the Hatchman has one as well. And I want to run around to this side. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to pull him in this direction where he can be fired and shelled upon by my enforcers up top. Okay, we got a fire starter is our primary target today. All right. So that's an interesting decision.
Standing by.
I was hoping to drag him over to this side. It did not work out like I had been hoping. Can I jump? I absolutely can jump into the forest. Hello! Set that to cluster, just for the accuracy bonus. And to say hi. We're going to lay some fire down. Now we can't see him. He's taking damage, but he's not dead yet. And Hacker is going to have to sprint to get into a good position to engage the fire starter. He has a shot, although I don't think I'm going to be firing the AC-20 on this one. Definitely not with an 18%. We're going to let it keep refreshing and get them lasers firing. We did hit him with another medium laser. Lovely. So bit by bit, we shall whittle him down.
Yes, boss.
I want, Majestic's Enforcer to move first and keep swinging around the side. We just need to get a good shot. If worst comes to worst, Majestic can bounce down with the jump jets. Bullet trap,
Receiving you.
same deal. Bullet trap has a shot with the missiles, so we'll get the MMLs on target. That'll be 10 missiles sent over his way, and maybe he won't enjoy them. And we'll have a nice fun time with it. No hits. Okay. A little bit disappointing. Was hoping for something. Didn't accomplish anything. Alright, back to the enemy turn. Let's see what their fire starter is going to roll. I just want to get into melee with you and punch you really, really hard. He's coming back over to this side. Oh, he's coming to range of my AC-10 pilots. And the fire is going down on the Hatchet Man. Missed with at least one of them. No hit. He missed with all of them. Bad day for you, sir. Exodus.
Standing by.
Are you in melee range? No, you're not. Are you in death from above range? Can you not? Not seeing the ability to do death from above. What is it? Is it V or something like that? Or tab? Huh. I would like to bounce at you from above. Maybe it's a special ability. Unfortunate. Okay, come around. Let's get him in melee range. We're jammed by ECM. He does have support systems going on. We're going to reset that, but we're going to fire the triple medium pulses on this one. We're also going to have vigilance. Next initiative is increased by guts and tactics divided by 2. Oh, that's fun. So, +1 initiative next round. Fire with the medium pulses.
Aye, aye.
They just let loose with all those medium pulses. We got some penetration here. And it's a leg and an arm. Lower arm structure destroyed. Lovely.
Critical hit.
Alright, so we're going to be able to swing the axe next turn to cool down, because I don't think he's getting away. Now, we've got him in sight, but unfortunately that's not going to really affect our accuracy, I don't think. 54%. How about if I sprinted? 40%. Yeah, we're going to walk. We're going to take the mobility debuff, I suppose, from having to walk. And fire in normal mode.
Roger that.
Ooh, don't hit the hatchment. That would be unfortunate. More damage onto his arm. Bullet Trap to come up next. Bullet Trap has a shot if he comes right here. It's not a great... Oh, it's a 50%. Alright, let's turn that slug into a cluster and see what that does for the accuracy. 69%. Alright, open fire and with the missiles. Okay, missed with the lasers. Unfortunate. And right arm has been destroyed, target acquired, and detected, so now everybody else gets to hit him a little bit better. Hacker!
Good to go.
Do you have a shot? Is it a good shot? It's a 23%. That's not a very good shot, Hacker. How about here? That's a 23% also, but we bring out the weapons in line. So, yeah, throw that football.
Locked on.
Oh, I didn't select the football. Whoops. He's bugging out, isn't he? Oh, Exodus gets to move first. Exodus, would you be so very kind as to swing your very large axe, well, hatchet, into his back? And there goes his left torso. A gyro crit. I think I'm going to be able to knock him over.
Critical hit.
Oh, yeah. He got knocked over. You lost your leg, didn't you? No, you didn't. I just threw you over. Alright, he's taking the damage. Down to 204 health.
How's it going?
Majestic, you are the man with a plan, correct? 77% chance on that cannon. Set it to cluster mode. Ooh, I'm out of cluster ammo, aren't I? Well, we were using quite a bit of it. It's an awesome weapon system to use, but we have no more. So let's go for tearing off legs.
Confirmed.
There goes one leg. We'd like to get the other leg as well. Structure exposed. Health is 104. And he bailed. Alrighty, so that'll be most of that mech as well. Now we need to get to the evac zone, apparently, which I don't think we do, but, well, we'll find out.
No shooting, just running.
If so, it's going to be a little bit of a long run. And a bit of a step backwards, too. Hacker, you're up next. Roll it.
All right, let's see what this thing can do.
Ooh, maybe there's somebody else on the field. We just haven't seen him. Because that's entirely possible.
Commander.
Because I'd like to consider that we've killed everybody, but it's entirely possible there's more people around here somewhere, and we just haven't seen them yet.
Roger that.
Because now that the new sensor system is in place, it's a little bit harder to actually find people.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, so we've destroyed everybody. We're getting into the evac zone now.
Full speed, no target.
And set ourselves up. Bullet trap.
Receiving you.
This is a road. I didn't accidentally run into... Okay, it's just roads. I was a little bit worried that we had run into the destruction zone of a landing dropship, because that would be terrible. So our mechs, once again, rejoining each other. The new ammo switching system is just lovely in terms of the sorts of options that it gives you. The new sensor system is lovely in the way that it kind of changes things up quite a bit with trying to find and engage the enemy. Using your team to sort of whittle down the enemy and work into creating situations where you've got the advantage is very interesting.
Standing by.
And the new initiative system especially is just phenomenal. I love it. All we need is now Bullet Trap Centurion to get in the range, and we are out of here.
Confirmed.
Alright, all objectives complete. Let's get on out of here. Here comes our Leopard to pick up all 4 of our mechs. And we shall go and we shall do glorious battle and things. So I'm quite a fan of the new changes. I don't know about you, but I think they make for a very interesting tactical puzzle to have to rip apart. We made 159,595 C-bills. This time we didn't blow up any mechs, so that's cool. Did take a couple of hits, especially on the Enforcer and the Hatchet Man, taking a couple of hits on his arm and his back. No penetrations, though, and no pilot injuries, so quite happy to see that. We'll lock them down. And we got 2 parts to a Raven, 2 parts to a Firestarter, 2 parts to a Wasp, a part to a Stinger, and a part to a Jenner. Because we blew the Stinger and the Jenner to little tiny pieces. We could get a comm suite. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Couple of different kinds of fusion cores. Whole bunch of heat sinks. Now that the heatsink kits can be actually stolen, that is... Oh, that is amazing. I'm so happy about it. So I think I want to grab 2 parts to a Raven, because Ravens are awesome. Having a mech that can give you that kind of support would just be incredible. And I'm not super interested in getting a Firestarter. They're cool, but we used them a lot in Voodoo's campaign, and I'd rather not. Lock that down. Well, we got the Stinger and the Wasp part. Large Laser Plus, which will be lovely. That's an increase in accuracy and +2 on heat for a little bit more damage. Got a heatsink, grabbed a couple of jump jets. Nothing amazing in that. But then again, there wasn't a whole ton of great salvage here. Fusion core would have been nice, but we're fine with it. And especially after the first mission with that amazing salvage that we got. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. So we will come back home, and Operation Tempo is going to be a bit different, for sure, because in the first campaign, it was Starburst was out on every single mission she could unless she took a headshot, because the fatigue was generally about as long as getting the mechs back online. In this case, well, that's a 7-day fatigue for a couple of them. So, yeah, I'm sure we can affect that by getting some of the relaxation things like 0G pools and the gardens and that kind of thing. But for now, at least, having an A team and a B team really does seem to make sense, especially if we don't break everything. Starter took Fredato from Wolf, and 14,000 for the next 13 days. So op tempo may be slowing down just a little bit here. Let's check it. Yeah, it's just because of the 777. 7 days on the Enforcer, 7 days on the Hatchetman, and 7 days on the Valiant. I kind of like the Valiant a little bit more than the Hatchback because the Valiant's faster. But that's going to do it for today's episode of RogueTech, the start of Season 3. Ripper's new company. He is currently fatigued for the next 5 days. We need to come up with a brand new name for these guys. We also should probably come up with a brand new emblem for these guys. We have 2 melee mechs, which is awesome. And I am so very much hoping that we did not lose the Valiant's sword. If we lost that Vibro sword, I'm going to be so very sad, because having a mech that small that can deal a ton of damage is awesome. I don't want to keep doing it. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. What did you think? What should we come up with a name for the Rippers Marauders? If you want to stick around and see more RogueTech content, we do RogueTech every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we have a live stream which we do every Saturday at 5 o'clock with a brand new group just for the live stream. It'll be starting a whole new campaign because we just finished up with Sledge's Hammers at the same time we finished with Starburst Sardaukar. And I will see you all in the next episode.